Look at the moon.
Oh my god, this is definitely not normal.
What is up, Blue Crew? How's it going, Green Giants? And welcome, Ledger citizens, to another DL Talk, the worst show with the best community. Shout out to the Blue Crew. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Much love to all of y'all. Thanks for hitting the likes. Thanks to any new subscribers. Thanks to, people viewing. The support helps us out tremendously, you guys. So thank you guys so much. I'm always grateful. And once again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader. And I'll never tell you what to do. How's everybody doing? We got Muleshoe in the chat. What's up, Muleshoe? Island Ghost. Appreciate you tuning in. Sniff taking profits from Donut. Almost up 60% yesterday. That's it, my dude. Congratulations to anybody who's making some profits or, licking their ice cream. If you, I think, as the bagman would say, right? I mean, look at the gains here in the past 30 days for the Blue Crew. I mean, October was a nice month. And if we look at the year, I mean, we're up, 100% on Chainlink, 94% on XDC, 75% on XRP, 28% on XLM, 23% on HBAR. And guys, SHX, the poster boy of the deep reds for the longest time, is now up on the year, 5% on the year. In the past 30 days, up 35% for SHX. So good seeing the Blue Castle now joining some powerhouse names like Link, XDC, XRP, XLM, and HBAR on our Blue Crew list here. You know what we do. You know what we do, Blue Crew. It's good just seeing all green on this list, basically. Looking back at the past 7 days of gains here, We got Chainlink once again, 35% up. I mean, Chainlink killed it in this past month, 107% gains. I mean, we talked about it, you know, all these cryptos, guys. Like, I know some people are probably FOMOing in and chasing some cryptos and chasing some pumps right now. And, you know, at this point, you know, with the Blue Crew and us Tigers over here, we're celebrating. We're either taking a little bit of profits off or taking some profits off or whatever, you know, whatever your trading strategy is, or we're enjoying the hodl and enjoying the experience and like, oh, hell yeah, there may be a bull cycle around the corner, right? How knows how soon? Who knows how soon that bull cycle? Everybody's thinking it's going to be wrapping up towards the end of the year. Very well, it very well may be. Could be January and February as well. Or post halving, we'll just have to see how they manipulate this market, right? What is the best node for SHX? More monkey business. A node? I don't know in terms of nodes, my dude. I don't think SHX is something that you run a node on. But I could be. I mean, I'm sure there are nodes like in their ecosystem, but I don't think that that's like what SHX is like about. I think you can run liquidity pools though. You can pair it up with XLM or Aqua and get some liquidity rewards with it, or you could just do like Aqua and XLM pair of liquidity and then cash out your Aqua rewards into SHX and make some passive SHX that way. Aqua ecosystem, really bullish on that, guys. I mean, crypto's outside of our Blue Crew top 13 here. And if you guys are tuning in for the first time, I appreciate you hitting the like. Thanks to any of you subscribers to the channel. Yeah, looking at, you know, our Blue Crew top 13 that's made from the Blue Crew right here. XRP, Chainlink, Avalanche, Atom, XLM, HBAR, QNT, Algo, XTC, IOTA, EWT, XX, and SHX. I think the crypto that maybe we can consider adding today, I'm interested to see what the Blue Crew thinks of this crypto. I'm going to put a poll up for it. I don't think it's going to get passed, but definitely putting it on the radar for this crypto. I heard some good news that kind of made me a little bit bullish on this, and I've never really been too bullish on this crypto. So let's see what people think of LCX. Found this woman named Sabrina, who is a former network engineer. She says wireless tech has been around since the 1800s and that all of our DNA has absorbed microreceptors from the chemtrails. Oh, god dang it, dude. Oh, snip. We're so fucked, dude. We're so screwed. How are we going to win, man? How are we going to win? I can't believe, like, you know, the future is bright, right? So somehow we're going to win. But how? Like, look at how, like, crazy, like, what they have at their disposal. But you know what they don't have? They don't have love, man. And that's the thing. They always lose because they don't have the simplest thing. Just simple human compassion. That's it. That's how they lose. They could be biggest, strongest, freaking just blow up the planet, kill us all, man. But they'll never have that one thing. And it's sad. It's sad. But anyways, so LCX is definitely one we've been looking out for. Let me show you guys Aqua here in the XLM ecosystem. I think this crypto might be one of those deep reds that we can explore that has not caught up with the market just yet. But I think this is a sleeper for sure with the Aqua token at 000400. You know, we already have SHX here at 000632. Aqua is lagging behind, I feel like, and I think we'll see Aqua starting to ascend the more that XLM starts to go up in price. So if we start seeing like 14, 15, close to 20 cent XLM, I think Aqua is going to definitely be following suit and make some pretty good gains since it's such a micro cap crypto. LCX had some good news recently, so it's kind of on my radar right now, keeping an eye out for it. You know, up 23% in the past 7 days, so technically chasing a pump here. But I mean, it's been sideways most of the time, and it's at 4 cents, all-time high at 61. So possible 10x potential, and it's a very low supply crypto, it seems like. So this crypto could be something that goes up into the multiple dollar ranges if things break in the right direction for it. So LCX is an interesting one to keep an eye out for. So we'll see if we add this one to the Blue Crew list. And, you know, a lot of people say that it's ISO 20022 compliant and all that good stuff. What's up, Very Easy? Oh. There goes my mic. What's up, Father Allen? Appreciate you tuning in, man. Shout out to everybody here. Crypto Rich in the house. OMC. Appreciate you tuning in. Lower level. You guys are awesome. All right, so let's jump into the news. It's been good, guys. It's been good with the Tigers. I hope everybody is really enjoying all these price movements. I mean, look at this avalanche. Guys, this is why we jump into the dumpster, and this is why we hammer away at those deep reds. We take advantage of the deep reds, right? The Tigers come out to take advantage, and we took advantage of avalanche. Remember how long avalanche was in like that bottom 5 of the deep reds, right? Avalanche was there. What else was there? H-bar was there. Now H-bar is, above 5 cents. We were hammering away at that 4-cent range H-bar. Now it's up to 6 cents here, doing some really good things. EWT, how many times did we talk about the purple one? Energy Web Token under $2, right? Now it's ascending up to 236. XX Network is starting to get some life. XX Network may be the only deep red that is still, and Algo, perhaps, are some of the only deep reds that may be worth hammering away at, and under $10 Atom, but still technically chasing the pumps. So the time to do, this past summer, guys, this past summer was the time, man. Like before summer, earlier in the year of 2023, all the stuff, all the FUD that happened, dude, the FTX collapse, all that crap, that was the time. And Tigers saw it, man. The Tigers saw it for sure. We saw through the FUD. This is all surface levels crap. Same thing with Celsius. Same thing with the, whatever's going down with all the Luna and all that crap, right? I have a bag of LCX. Nice. Hell yeah, Tim Shea. No, yeah, we saw some pretty good news that came out of nowhere from a good source that I was like, okay, LCX is at least worth a speculative ad, right? It checks off boxes. I don't like that it's like, from what I understand, it's ERC20, but it looks like Ethereum is going to be part of this distributed ledger technology future. I don't know, if maybe Ethereum, the blockchain, continues to live on, and then they just get rid of like everybody else that's on it, get rid of Lubin and all the, the current faces and just change Ethereum completely. But Ethereum's doing its thing as well, even though it charges crazy fees. But who knows with, full Ethereum 2 migration and all that stuff, who knows? Interoperability, right? Inspector Music, what's up? AOG. I mean, once again, guys, and it looks more and more like it. We are in a speculative bull market, right? Or about to get into a speculative bull cycle. And if it is, then we're going to see more of this, where it's a wall of green, right? Even the cryptos you hate or don't agree with will make killer gains. Check out Sniff, for example. Sniff just made hella gains off a crypto called Donut, right? He made amazing gains off Flix, right? He's actually probably made more gains than any of the cryptos that are here on the Bluecrew Top 13, right? Because Sniff is a scoundrel, man. The guy knows how to play the game of, hey, I don't care if you guys hate this crypto. This crypto is going to make some crazy gains, right? He knows how to even probably go against his own gut instinct of going, hey, man, Donut, I even know Donut is an S coin, but I'm jumping in on it, right? It's crazy, man. Like, that's why it's funny. Like, a lot of people think they have to throw in a ton of money into crypto. It's like you could throw some $5 in at a very, very minor cap crypto and just see what happens. And that could turn into $500 in like 6 years or something, It's insane. Hell, maybe even a shorter span if you get lucky to enter just before a bull cycle. And there will be people like that for sure. All right, let's go into the news. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks for hitting the likes once again. Flix staking APY still at 207%, and the price is gradually moving up. I mean, dude, Flix is only going to ascend from here. Sniff, now that you put that energy out there, man, Sniff is going to be ghost from this channel pretty soon. And he's going to do his own channel and then be like, yeah, see, I got rich off Flix and Donut. And I'm just here to like kind of share with y'all my wisdom because there's other BS YouTubers out there, GDLT, who would only tell you ISO 20022 cryptos are worth it. And then Sniff would get like 300K subscribers I got my first 1 million SHX this week. Inspector Music. Congratulations, my dude. Part of the one. Dude, you guys got some money to throw around, man, and I appreciate that. I chip away little by little with what I can, but you guys are going to be good members of the Blue Castle, that is for sure. Congratulations, Blue Crew. Let's all give a congratulations to Inspector Music. He's been putting in the work with his wrench, and now he may be able to like visit, speak to a princess for like 10 minutes, right? Speak to a blue princess for like 10 minutes. I live like a homeless man. I do too, man. I do too. I am trying to limit as like, I've actually gotten, it's funny. Some people are like telling me, dude, you look fit. Are you like, how are you doing? It's like, oh, well, I got in a car accident last year. I don't have a car. I travel through bus most of the time or Uber or like walking around. I also like try to limit the amount of food that I buy. Right? I try to just get the bare essentials like fruits, veggies, and freaking whole grains and protein and shit. Right? And then everything else I sprinkle a little bit into this crypto, into that crypto. It's crazy, man. This is a once in a lifetime era and opportunity that we're in. I think so. I don't think that crypto is going to always be like this, you guys. I think this moment that we have that's right in front of us is tremendous. And it's only, we're so lucky to be a part of it. Before it gets, before these percentages get smaller, right? These percentage gains are so filthy. It's not going to happen forever in the future. I don't think. There could be like some incentives, like in the future of like how you pay for things and stuff, and then you get a certain interest back or whatever, like just better payment experiences and things like that. But is this a new YouTube channel? No, dude, this isn't a new YouTube channel. It's still the worst show for the Blue Crew that ever existed. Legendary. Good to see you, man. OMC. So I think in the future, like people are going to be looking at us and be like, dude, wait, you got like 20% gains off of crypto in 1 hour before? Or you got 100% gains in 24-hour once before? Yeah. It was a crazy time. It was a crazy era. What's up, Josh O'Hare? What's up, RPM? We got everybody tuning in now. I thought G gone AWOL. Dude, guys, I work like 3 different jobs. I freaking grind my ass off out here, dude. And I don't have a car. So like a lot of my time, like I basically work like 12 to 14-hour days. And especially when like, around this time of year, for some reason, production and, now the strikes kind of like not being a thing anymore. Production has just been going up, and it's like when you do productions, I don't know if any of y'all are in like live production or anything. It's like consecutive 14 to 16-hour days, and yeah, you make a good amount of money like in that short period of time, but it's like you have no energy to do anything else. Like you basically wake up, get there. I take like an hour and a half bus sometimes to a location or whatever, So no, I mean I don't share a lot about my personal life with y'all, and maybe I should, but I just want you guys to know like where I'm coming from on my side of things. I wish this channel could be like something. Holy snap, dude! Legendary, shout out to you, man. 2 more to Hulk status on, dude. You're gonna have a great new year, man. Legendary is gonna be a Hulk in the new year, and then new people will join in because they'll be chasing the pumps and like jumping in on the FOMO of the bull cycle. And they'll be like, wait, how did this guy already reach Hulk status? He must have been around for a long time. Guys, we're almost to 20 likes. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. So yeah, I don't share too much about my personal life, but that's like kind of the thing that's like what's going on. Like when I'm out of streams here, I like wear a lot of different hats, and yeah, and some days, like I have a good break, right? Like I'll work like a full week or sometimes like 3 weeks in a row with like Sunday breaks or Saturday breaks or something. And, there'll be 12 to 14-hour days, right? And then I'll have a month with no work, right? Like, and then we can stream every day at 10 a.m. or something, I can't tip on the phone 5 minutes till I've eaten. All good RPM. I appreciate you, as always. So yeah, I mean, we definitely would love to be doing this more often, though. G also has, and then, yeah, exactly. And Sniff, that, you know, I have a lot of responsibilities, and Sniff knows. Like, there's a lot of things that I have to tend to as a Mason. Uh, G's bio is available online. Just type the. Oh my god. Kind of convenient, huh, Sniff? Yeah. But hey, man, I would love to be doing this more often. And oh man, if my mic could stop falling, that would be great. It's too good. But you know, we're patient. Things slowly will evolve, and I think this channel will get bigger in the future. We just got to keep the course, keep the eye of the tiger, you know, and stream when we can and hang out with the Blue Crew here. I mean, especially if like we go past all-time highs of any of these cryptos, yeah, we'll definitely be in a better situation where we could afford to have more time to hang with the Blue Crew for sure. Dude, J-Roy, man. J-Roy. What's up, J-Roy? We're printing, dude. It's a wall of green. Look at this, man. Past 7 days, nothing but green, man. You gotta love crypto, bro. Doesn't matter where you're throwing this money at, dude. It's you're probably making some gains right now. Hopefully you've made some really good profits, dude. And your Binance coin, by the way. I'm thinking that was all FUD, bro. I'm thinking that was all FUD, man. We were here thinking it was like FUD with you, you know, when the news came out in the past, right? Like all that FUD type of news or regulatory news. And for all we know, that could still be the case, right? That could still be true. But Binance in a speculative market will probably do well, right? I don't know how well because of the regulatory scrutiny, but it's looking like things are turning around. And CZ, he's coming out super bullish on his Twitter, man. Like he's saying we're gonna go through like multiple all-time highs in this next bull cycle. He's saying, you know, like he's starting to give out financial advice and telling people to hold and sell and do this and whatnot. I'm like, wow, CZ, I didn't know you were a financial advisor, my dude. Oh, snap. We got OMC. Appreciate you, man. GDLT, thanks for taking the time to focus on crypto with us. And dude, we got to, man. And I feel like, you know, during the green days, like this is when I feel like you guys don't really need this channel, like at all, period. It's like the worst channel with the best community for some reason. But what I'm trying to say is like, I feel like the best times of this channel is when everything is red, right? Like this is the channel to come to and have that community that goes like, hey, we're keeping the freaking eye of the tiger here, right? And now we're starting to find out like what we're going to be setting ourselves up for in the next cycle. Let's see if you make anything OMC here. Oh, that was almost in there. You almost earned yourself a GDLT. RPM. Oh my God. Now somebody's going to be like, dude, GDLT, when he does his streams, all he does is like beg. He just tells people about how poor he is and he just begs. RPM, cheers to you, man. HSBC taps Ripple owned metacodes. Yep. Dude, that was a big announcement from the Ripple swell. Dude, we had so much that went down in this past week that we have to catch up with y'all. Here, I'm going to load this up for the end of the stream for you guys because we have to watch this with Project Dossie. I don't think enough people in the XRP community talk enough about interledger protocols. So I think we have to do our part of informing people about what interledger protocol is doing because like Ripple themselves has said interledger protocol could be bigger than Ripple, right? And it makes sense. It's an open source technology, right? Anybody can contribute to it. And they just had their recent event, right? Their summit, their Interledger Protocol Summit. Here, let me go to Interledger Foundation. So they're really planning with Interledger Protocol to be using digital assets for micropayments and streaming payments, and you know, cross-ledger payments of all types. And you guys, like, Project Dossie was just kind of like a concept last year. The amount of strides that they've made in 1 year, I'm so excited to see where Project Dossie and Interledger Protocol is going to be going in the coming years. So we're going to set up this video from Project's ILP right here, Interledger Protocol Summit Day 1. And we're going to check out Stefan Thomas's talk here because, dude, this guy was the first or I don't know if he's the true first, but this guy was the CTO of Ripple during some crucial years. He was a Bitcoin developer. The dude's the reason, basically, that Bitcoin even became popular by showing a video that described Bitcoin and explained the whole reason behind Bitcoin, right? And then a lot of it went viral, right? It had millions upon millions of views, and so people started all of a sudden the Bitcoin kick started beginning. This guy was a developer with David Schwartz on Bitcoin, with Arthur Brito on Bitcoin, with Warren Paul Anderson, or I forgot what his name, something like that. Now, I don't think it's Warren Paul Anderson. Something, damn it. Yeah. Well, it was a group of 4 guys, and they all migrated over to the XRPL. And this guy was the CTO at a very young age. Like, he's the CTO of like, this dude's a prodigy, right? And he's now in his like 30s or maybe 40s, and just still kicking ass and like finding out new ways to find ways to like, get mass adoption for digital assets and make payments easier for people. So I'm going to load up this video here, and then we'll jump into it near the end of the stream so you guys can check out this awesome presentation from him. G, are you going to be joining Rain's live stream tonight? I probably won't, man. I'll be with the lady friend at that time. But I do love Rain's live streams. Shout out to him. Are we still planning on being rich? I mean, dude, the process has already begun, bro. Right? The process has already begun. Like, we just have to, we're either licking our ice cream, right, as Bags would say, getting, enjoying those profits. Like, look at IOTA, guys. IOTA went from $15 up to 15 cents to 18 cents now. One of the recent Bluecrew editions on there. But it's a wall of green right now. It's awesome to see. So profits are either being taken at around this range. Maybe we have a little bit more of a pump to come. Who knows where we're at this point. But, good things nonetheless. All right, let's jump into some of the news. Let me just make sure I have everything set here for this video. Yeah, okay, I think we're going to be good to go when we come back. All right. So the Bank of England and FCA proposed new regulatory regime for stablecoins. Join the conversation on fintech and payments. So Bank of England being very active, right, with digital assets and stablecoins. And I'm excited to see what 2024 is going to be bringing, because, this world is going to have to come about eventually, right? And I don't know, we've been saying this is a transformative decade, 2020 to 2030, and it could be a slow progression, but stablecoins, CBDCs, digital assets, transactions, machine to machine, AI to AI, all that stuff is going to be a reality in the future. And it's going to be ridiculous how, seamless and fluid the payment experience will be. I'll stop by Rain's channel. There you go. Did you see Poloniex XRP futures start yesterday? Got hacked today. Millions of XRP stolen. Ooh, so that means like millions of XRP basically burned. Okay, that's good. So the supply got smaller for XRP. That's good. But yeah, that once again, yeah, that's the reason to not have your most important cryptos, especially on exchanges. Like I like to, I like taking risks, so like that's my thing personally. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a pro trader. I'll never tell you what to do. But with XRP, that is always in cold storage, right? Because there isn't enough good DeFi stuff with XRP yet. But the way I like to kind of do DeFi to get XRP is put it in, some of these Cosmos ecosystem or Solana ecosystem tokens, do some APY stuff, right? Convert that APY into USD or, a fast asset like Atom or something, and then send it over, convert it to XRP, and there we go. We got some passive income, XRP, right? And then send it over the cold storage wallet, right? Like hell, like with what Sniff has right here with Flix, 200% APY. That is absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm not going to put a large amount of money in there to try to make back my initial investment. But damn, I'm just going to keep sprinkling every bit of rewards that I would be getting from there and then sending it into XRP, because I think no matter what, then the initial investment is going to definitely be surpassed or like achieved, because XRP is going to go up ridiculously high, right? Where's Fuma at? Yeah, G tried it. So let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to throw into Cosmos. You're going to start staking it. I mean, Puma's right, though, man. Puma's right. Shout out to Puma. Breaking, according to market participants and reporters, the EU agreement on instant payments harbors SEPA bomb because non-banks are also to be given access to payment systems and the ECB infrastructure in the future. A massive expansion of competition is quoted. So, you know, ISO 20022 is definitely going to be a reality, and I think a lot of people are underestimating still. But this is a check mark. A big check mark in 2023 was the launch and adoption beginning, right? 2024, I think by end of 2024, you're going to have a majority of participants definitely on ISO 20022, and then 2025 and beyond, it's ISO 20022, man. It is the new digital financial system, and let's go, right? It says XRP King Duck as well, member for 2 months, tiny little green giant that he is. Shout out to you, XRP King Duck. What up, G and Bluecrew? Shout out to you, man. Much love to you. Thanks for tuning in. He's coming out of nowhere, grabbing that green giant, grabbing that moon. He's saying, give me that moon. Give me that moon now. We Twin saying, move your XRP to some wallet pronto. So he's saying, don't move it to LEPAL. Don't move it to Decent. Don't move it to, your ledger. Move it to some wallet. That's what We Twin's saying to do with your XRP, right? And once again, thanks for telling me what to do. I feel like a lot of people got to be very careful with, we try to be very, very careful with what we say on this channel because we don't want anything to be taken as financial advice or me telling you what to do. I'll never tell you what to do, right? So then now, with that principle, I look at it with all these major players like CZ telling people what to do, and Wheats and Wind here telling people what to do. It's like, guys, you do realize you guys you guys are celebrities, right? And hell, Elon Musk, all these people, it's like, wait, can't we hold them accountable for them telling us what to do? Can't we, the same way we have to be worried about being financial advisors, shouldn't they be worried, right, about not being considered financial advisors as well? I don't know. Maybe I overthink this stuff. Maybe it's too much coffee. Certainly is. Let's check out the SEC and the insanity from Bank XRP. Shout out to Bank XRP. What an OG, man. I've been following Bank XRP forever, and it's good to see him post this. The SEC and the insanity, Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Here we go. Shout out to everybody here, by the way. Much love to y'all.
Here in Dubai. I spoke with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse on stage at the event. I asked about Ripple's battle with the Securities and Exchange Commission over the status of its XRP token and what Ripple's recent court win means for the scope of SEC power over the crypto space. Listen in.
Ripple has had 3 consecutive victories over the SEC on this. First, the judgment on July 13th saying very clearly XRP is not in and of itself a security. Second, the denial by the court for their request for an interlocutory appeal. And third, the dismissal with prejudice, the allegations against Chris Larson and myself. So, look, one of the things that people talk about is one of the definitions of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and thinking you'll get a different outcome. The SEC is doing the same thing over and over again, and they think, I guess, they're going to get a different outcome. At some point, and you and I talked also backstage about a Grayscale also had I think, an important victory in the United States about the Bitcoin ETF, where the judge, again, this is a federal judge talking about a federal agency in the SEC saying, quote, the SEC is being arbitrary and capricious. Generally, judges tend to be pretty, down the middle and try to not be dramatic. Those are damning words. So I think at some point the SEC has to step back and realize that their approach of regulation through enforcement, let's just bring lawsuits, that has to break.
So walk me through the next steps in this case. Today was the deadline for the briefing schedule for remedies. The SEC wants something like $770 million in disgorgement.
Yep. What
happens next?
Well, I in a session that I did in Washington yesterday, I made the joke around, I'd like to see the Vegas odds on, what could be what's called the remedies from the case. Look, I think the SEC, in my opinion, has lost sight of their mission to protect investors. And the question is, who are they protecting in this journey? And it turns out that the judge will make a decision about remedies. We actually welcome that. I think that in this case, you look at what investors were harmed, and you also have to look at the securities laws and understand, are there exemptions for institutional and accredited investors and things like that? But look, I think it is a positive step for the industry, not just for Ripple, not just for Chris and Brad, but for the whole industry, that the SEC has been put in check in the United States. And I'm hopeful this will be kind of a thawing of the permafrost in the United States for really seeing an amazing industry that has immense potential thrive in the largest economy in the world.
Oh man, Brad Garlinghouse dropping some good little stuff in there, that's for sure. And then there's stuff in relations to riddles as well, but him saying that, hey, this show is still going on. The climax of all this hasn't even started. That we're getting into it, right? But this isn't like a maybe the climax was the XRP being declared not a security moment. I guess that would be the climax of the story right there. But and then maybe this is the third act and the dwindling down, as he would say, the unthawing, right? Check this out. Ripple. Okay, so yeah, we actually shared this. Check this out. So on Ripple's Swell event, they released this image that is very, very, very similar to another image. And I'm trying to find it, so give me a second. Thank you for your patience, y'all. You guys are amazing. Okay, maybe we can't find it. Oh man, there's been so much news that we would have to go over. I think this is, yeah. There it is. Okay. You guys remember this this is on Bearable Guy 123's banner, right? The snow and the unthawing, the permafrost, right? So this thing used to be full of snow, and it used to have more snowballs, right? So it looks like we still got 3 snowballs to go. So maybe the climax of all this hasn't even really begun, right? And then if you check out the image that they have here, introducing Ripple payments, so, the upgrade of the ODL products, basically. Look at this. Look at the image that they chose, guys. This white tile thing with the blue on this right side, and it's a ramp going downwards. And look at the Bearable Guy riddle. And I understand this is highly speculative, and this can be all coincidence, but it's very interesting that it's in relation with XRP, right? Both of them happen to be in relation with XRP. Right, so that's an interesting coincidence that their images line up, basically, right? Going back and forth between the two now. Hopefully you guys see it. If you guys don't see it, then I'm crazy, right? And it's okay. I'm fine with being crazy. I'm not going to make most of this stuff. We know what the plan is. Ultimately, the plan is Interledger Protocol attached to every single payment on the planet, right? And working best in tandem with ISO 20022, facilitating payments of all types everywhere. Man, can't wait to show you that guy, show you that video there for sure. But yeah, awesome stuff coming out from Ripple and Swell, right? Monica Long, let's not sleep. I think we were the channel that was calling out for Monica Long to either be CEO or take a major position at Ripple, right? They like having these people from in-house working. Like Brad Chase is going to be somebody who probably steps up for Brad Garlinghouse in the future. Imagine Brad Chase all of a sudden it started coming out of nowhere. Once XRP got declared as not a security, all of a sudden Brad Chase came into existence. I don't know if, it's just how it came into our existence here. I just didn't know Brad Chase at all before then. And he's like the head of Ripple liquidity products. But he's Lightside Gary. We all know about Lightside Gary on here. What's up, Wayside? Good to see you, dude. Appreciate you tuning in. Aloha. Brad gives no F's. Dude, the dude honestly doesn't care. He knows he has to say certain things, right, to make it still seem like there's drama and a show going on, right? But he knows where this is ultimately ending up as well. Like, he's paid his dues. You know, he served the elite brethren for long enough, right? Hell, he's had his rise and fall, right? And now this is his, like, his stamp, man. This is going to be his, like, impression on the world for sure. People will remember Brad Garlinghouse. Where's Alchemist? We need some inside info here. I'm lurking. Dogs kick off at neighbors, banging and fighting. Oh, man. What's up, RPM? Yeah, Brad is such a badass dude. He's got swag, swag, swag. Awesome CEO. Awesome CEO. Speaking of a cool CEO as well, Mo Morrissey was at the Ripple Swell event. DevNold Productions CEO, man. We got to get him on here and have some updates on Ledger City. I'm gonna message him and see if we can get any updates. I think he said he would also like to do. They would contact us for whenever like certain things are really going underway with the project. So I'm thinking that they're building some infrastructure stuff. They're still waiting for official like overall clarity in the space before they do anything with LCC token. And hey, man, we got some LCC token allocated to us, right? And I'm sure you guys do as well for setting up your Ledger City accounts. So I can't wait to see what's going to be happening there for the Ledger citizens with Ledger City. Yeah, Monica Long's opening here, talking about Ripple payments, right? Dude, Monica Long's a boss, bro. Monica Long, Tammy Camp, and Kathleen Brightman, dude, of Tezos. Those are the three blue ladies, right? And if you guys don't know the other two, so we have Monica Long from Ripple. I mean, I guess you could throw Danelle Dixon in there, but they don't have blue, like, Stellar's not a blue crypto, you know? Even though we like Stellar and XLM. But Tammy Camp's the Blue Castle, the queen of the Blue Castle right here, right? And then we got Kathleen Brightman, I mean. Here, let me see where XTZ. Oh, man. I forgot how you spell her name. Kathleen Bright. Oh, geez. Tezos. Founder. All right. Let's see. Forgot to spell her, how to spell her name. So embarrassing. Trying to find this lady. There she is. Bright woman. That's how they say it. So yeah. And then Kathleen Brightman, I mean. The three blue ladies. Tezos, man. Tezos is one I would love to add onto the list, you guys. This one I've been following for a good long bit. It's a blue crypto, so perfect for the Bluecrew list. Technically chasing the pump. Like, it's at 35% up in the past 30 days, but we've been talking about this crypto for quite some time. We're loving the Tezos ecosystem under $1. Like, this crypto had an all-time high of 909, right? So there's 10x potential out of this crypto, and hell, even then some, dude. This crypto can maybe hit $20, right? Especially if they've been building out a beast of an infrastructure. They've been constantly upgrading, right? There's a lot of good things that I like about the Tezos ecosystem, and we've been really patient with this crypto, but we're really excited under $1, especially that you could stake and do DeFi with it and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Velo. I mean, dude, we've known about Velo, bro. But yeah, I mean, you could say you told me. It's all good. As long as you're licking your ice cream, man, that's all I care about, right? As long as you're having a good time. You don't have to worry about it. We're having a good time here, too. Love and Corium, yeah, Super Ledger. Hands off Elizabeth Ward. She's Gensler's babe. There you go. Yeah, dude. Nice gain. 77% up. Velo has been very bullish, right? 37% up, 50% up in the past 30 days. Velo killing it, dude. Love that XLM ecosystem. Loving that XLM ecosystem. Let's see where Sologenic and Corium are. I mean, Sologenic is still pretty down. Like, it's up 44%. We were calling it out at 9 cents right there. 44% up in the past 30 days. Wonderful. But, dude, there's still a journey ahead for Sologenic. There's still quite a destiny for this crypto, dude. This one could be a $12 crypto in the future. I shit you not. All right. And then, yeah, Corium at 9 cents. So there's still good deep reds that are laggards, right? Still good deep reds to be hammering away at and not chase, like, we're not trying to chase pumps, right? That's not what we're doing here. We don't like chasing pumps, man. We don't. FOMO does not exist here. The FOMO is in the deep reds. That's the only time FOMO exists, when it's deep reds and we're like, damn it, I wish I had enough money to buy. I'm missing. I want to buy it. I got to. It's deep red. Will Corium be ISO approved? I think so, man. I think so. But we'll see, Russell C. That's a good question. I think since it has connections with Sologenic, and I mean, I'm not sure of how the technicalities are gonna work. And so far, from what you guys are gonna see how early we are. You got. We'll look at aggro. Okay. TFT is another excellent token I've been stacking. Okay, let's check out TFT. But I just want to let you guys know, like, you know, in my opinion, I think we are super, super early still. Like, we are very early in this whole game, right? Like, you're going to see this presentation by Stephon Thomas at ILP, and you're going to see how early we are. Like, the hype is super ahead of the reality. Like, we're acting like as if cross-chain stuff is really, like, just the norm right now and happening, or, you know, like, all this stuff is still being set up. We are still quite a ways away. And, you know, really the only two major cryptos that still have like some semblance of a chance of being mass adopted ones, like truly, are just BTC and XRP. All these other ones are still just trying to earn their right, like, to even be considered for mass adoption, right? Like, in terms of regulation, in terms of being really used at scale, right? To draw enough interest from billions of people. Like, we are so damn early. So damn early. Yeah, threefold tokens looking good in the deep reds right there. Legendary. Agro Global or Agro Coin? Let me know which one, Russell C. So, yeah. Because, like, right now, we still don't even have, like, interoperable all of the ledgers, right? Every single ledger that's out there having interoperability, where you can send from PayPal to Venmo and Venmo to a different wallet of some type, you know? Agro Global, you got it. All right. I mean, dude, this one's, yeah, super deep. Like, this one doesn't even have any action going for it on Live Coin Watch. By the way, I was thinking maybe Bluecrew can add ZA. XAH, it hit 8 cents or 7 cents just recently, and I think it could go down more because it's a new crypto. But if this crypto goes to like 5 cents, 3 cents, a penny, I'll probably be accumulating some ZA, right? I like ZA here, and this one could be crypto that Bluecrew can add onto the list before it starts getting, like, you know, some love for it. But I'm waiting for it to go to lower prices. I think it could. David Schwartz said November. Like, what do you guys think about ZA and stuff like that? Like, I think it's pretty cool, man. I don't know what the ultimate vision for it is, but if it looks like it has to exist because XRP Ledger is going to need ZA, or Hooks is going to need it, then I'm pretty interested in XAH. That, like, I like things that have to be used, right, in the ecosystem. I bought some Akash. Dude, yeah, AKT. Yeah, AKT for sure. Gotta dig AKT. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of AKT because they changed their plans. Like, and, you know, I understand when cryptos do it, but, like, you know, I'm worried they're one of the cryptos that, like, says the right thing, you know, during bull cycles, and then all of a sudden you just don't even hear from them too much during bear cycles or anything, right? And Akash, you know, we were really big on Akash, and you know, we're still digging ourselves out of a hole with the AKT. So that's one that we're just keeping our eye out on. But it definitely has great potential. It sucks that they aren't planning on working with Interledger Protocol anymore, even though they said that they would, right? But they are very essential to the IBC, the inter-blockchain communication. So it looks like they're essential for the Cosmos ecosystem. Osmo token is another one in the Cosmos. Like, yeah, ecosystems that I would probably say are like my top 5 major ecosystems right now are XRP, XLM. Um, you got Solana. Like I know you guys don't like Solana. I get it. I told you guys at 13 cents. I mean, not 13 cents, $13, right? Now it's 53. Now it's up 214% on the year. Um, remember all the FTX stuff, all that FTX FUD, and we were calling it out, right? And now we can't even add it to the Bluecrew list because if we add it to the Bluecrew list, we're chasing the pump. But we had our opportunity with this freaking crypto, guys. I'm telling you, right? That surpassing Ethereum for NFT trading volume is a big deal. That's a big, big deal, right? So I think Solana is going to continue to do some good things in the future. But yeah, I think they're one of the major, and their user experience is tremendous. Like the user experience of their wallet and Jupiter aggregator. By the way, Jupe is coming out with their own token now. So the Jupiter exchange is going to be coming out with their own token. I'm excited for that in the Solana ecosystem. But yeah, XRP, XLM, Solana, Atom, Avalanche, HBAR, right? Those ecosystems, XDC, right? Those ecosystems are top tier. XLM, oh, well, we already said that. So yeah, I like sprinkling into little cryptos in those ecosystems. Yeah, I'm down for adding ZAO. I mean, it's a good time to be just keeping and WorldCoin, by the way, guys. I know a lot of people don't like WorldCoin, but dude, if Sam Altman is connected with this thing, if he's really connected with this stuff and he really wants to make WorldCoin a thing, I don't think there's any better time than now to be going into WorldCoin. WorldCoin came out at a very interesting time. The elite, like, remember, these elite are all in the same room together, and so you had the release of X, right? The X, for Twitter. You had the release of X and the release of WorldCoin on the same day, and having XRP declared not a security, right, within the same week. Like, so there's something here with the WorldCoin that I understand. Like, once again, XRP is going to be the banks and central banks' endgame. We're technically riding off their coattails and understanding that they're going to do this thing regardless. I think that's the same case with WorldCoin. They're going to do this thing regardless. I don't know if they're just going to have everybody looking into an orb, but hell, man, if they like in the future, people are going to love technology, right? Hell, you're looking into an orb anyway if you're looking at a laptop, right? If you're looking at a laptop that has a camera on it, that camera's looking at you and scanning your face, right? Or whatnot, so hell, on your phone. So technically, we're already looking into orbs already, but WorldCoin, is one to just keep an eye out for because this Sam Altman guy is definitely a major figure, and there could be something that comes out of this WLD. So I'm still holding the WLD, but I think it's one that has potential to be on the list in the future. Stocking up on Juno and Neta. Yeah, Juno could be something that smart contracts, right? Smart contracts for interoperable smart contracts for the Atom ecosystem. That's a good one. I made a little money on WorldCoin. Dude, like, I think it's one that, has, like, I'm not saying it's major focus of of our investment here, but I think there is some legs to this. I think there is something to this, like crypto. Let's just jump into it a little bit here. Privacy first, owned by everyone. 2 million unique humans on WorldCoin. Right? For a more human internet, for a more human blockchain protocol. What does that even mean, right? But let me see. WorldCoin Foundation. Let's see what WorldCoin Foundation is. Support and grow the WorldCoin ecosystem. WorldCoin Foundation is exempted and limited. I just want to see who the members are, right? I just want to see, yeah. 50,000. I'm like, what the heck is this? Sorry, thank you for your patience. Sometimes when we jump down the rabbit hole, we don't really go anywhere. Just trying to see if this is like truly founded by Sam Altman. That's all. So WorldCoin, Sam Altman. Yeah, exactly right. A more human coin. Yeah, OpenAI's Sam Altman launches WorldCoin crypto project, right? What to know about WorldCoin and the controversy around it. Dude, Time Magazine took, no pun intended, took time out of their day to talk about WorldCoin. Over the past few months, shiny metallic orbs have materialized cities around the world, from New York to Berlin to Tokyo. Its creators hail the orbs as revolutionary devices, ushering in a new era of global humanity and financial stability. Its detractors slam them as invasive, dystopian, and exploitive. Welcome to the rollout of WorldCoin, an AI meets crypto project from OpenAI founder Sam Altman that has stirred and dude, yeah. I mean, just on that alone, like, despite whether I agree with the ethics or morals of it, this crypto, with having Sam Altman attached to it, is going to draw speculation, right? That's what I'm trying to, like, I'm just trying to break it down into very simple, like, you know, are there gains to be made from this thing? And I do think so, as long as Sam Altman is connected to this, right? So this might be one of the ones to consider. So we said 67% no on LCX. Let's see if we would say, so we're not going to add LCX to the list. Let's see if we would say yes to WorldCoin here. And remember, that we would technically not be chasing the pump. We would be ahead of the game right here with WorldCoin. Let's ride off the coattails of AI, guys. And remember, this is a fresh new crypto, right? It's a young kid on the block, just like ZA is, right? Like XAH. These are both, like, XX Network is a youngin, WorldCoin, ZA. These could be the new generation of cryptos to keep an eye out for in the years to come. All right. So this is for WLD. Let's see what Bluecrew thinks on this. I think Bluecrew is going to still vote no because they're just like applying their morals to it. They're just like, nah, it's an S coin, dude. He's just trying to make money. It's Sam Altman. He's just trying to make money to fund his AI stuff. You guys are funny, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. I don't have to agree with the Bluecrew all the time, and the Bluecrew doesn't have to agree with me. But damn, we're going to stick to our methods here, and Bluecrew is going to shape this list, you know? It sounds like something a robot would see. Totally, totally. Okay, then let's, it looks like we got a very strong reaction to WorldCoin of no. So I'm just going to end the poll there, and it hurt my feelings a little bit, but let's see for ZA. Let's see if ZA on the Bluecrew list. Has it earned a right to be on the Bluecrew list yet? All right. Let's keep going on with the news, though. You guys are amazing, man. And then we're going to jump into Stefan Thomas' presentation at the ILP Summit. Good stuff to hear from there, for sure. I'll let you guys know how WLD does for me, though, for sure. I think lower level will let you guys know, too. Oh, 100% yes so far with ZA. Okay. I like it. That's cool. Oh, now it's getting worse. Okay, we'll wait until some of the news is over here. Guys, shout out to the 25 likes. It's good good getting this type of reaction as we came back. I'm, once again, we try to stream whenever we can, and usually around this time of day, PST, 12:25 p.m. or 10:30 a.m. or whatnot. So we got Volante Technology. In a part 2 of this blog series, we look at U.S. banks' most pressing challenges and the importance of strategic payments as a service platform integration, learning why 50% of the surveyed institutions are utilizing the PaaS model, and Volante being a big part of it, I'm sure. So far, pretty good reaction for ZA. Interesting. All right. Let's see if we got any more good things to share with you guys here on the news. If not, we'll jump into the deep breads. We've already been kind of doing deep bread stuff, but Oh yeah, check this out right here from Marlon Hernandez and Ripple posting here.
You know for a fact Dubai is embracing these new technologies. They are creating an environment that's conducive to innovation. It would be irresponsible for the bank not to learn these technologies and adapt to stay relevant. Now hearing from the regulators here in Dubai, it also sets an example. So this is very inspiring to the regulators from the Philippines. Will definitely inspire our own regulators to do the same thing.
Yeah, it would be irresponsible to not adapt and want better payments for your customers, right? All right, guys, let's jump into the deep reds, and then we're going to check out Stefan Thomas, former CTO of Ripple, current founder of Interledger Protocol, the protocol that's going to be running all the money. All the money. Let's not forget about that. So deep reds on the Bluecrew top 13 list. We talked about some cryptos outside of this list that are pretty good deep reds to be looking at, but I would say it's, yeah, dude. I mean, we love EWT, but the buzz was before the $2 range there. Now we're technically chasing the pump. I think XX Network is really the only one in the deep reds that I don't mind continuing to stack on, because I definitely think it's going to be higher than 5 cents in the future. I think we had some good XX Network news that for some reason I can't find it on here, but it was definitely, oh yeah, we had some news coming out from Stronghold. And if you guys, guys, we got to do our blue part. We got to do our part of supporting the Blue Castle. We already, we build up this Blue Castle brick by brick, but we need to vote for the queen, right? Exciting news. Our very own Tammy Camp has made it to the final round of this year's Tech Trailblazers Awards in the female CEO category. Your vote can make a difference as she continues to make waves. So guys, I'm going to share this link here, and we got to do our part, Blue Crew. We got to get our blue wrenches and vote for Tammy Camp. Use a burner email or something. I don't know. Do what you like if you guys want to do this, but got to support Tammy Camp. Got to support the queen, right, of the Blue Castle. That would be amazing if she won, though. That would be amazing if she won. That is for sure. Let me see if we got any news from XX Network. I do remember getting some news recently, right? Let me see. Thank you guys for your patience, by the way. I'm just trying to find some good XX Network info for you guys, because I know, some of us are concerned about XX Network possibly being a dead project. So I just want to, XX Network posting another, post, or Stronghold posting another one, talking about industry leaders, what inspired you to enter the respective industry, right? Engaging with the people out there. But oh yeah, Solana, dude. Planosaurs with render. Solana Source, like, dude, Solana so far has like the best type of NFTs, like, and high-end quality NFTs, like super awesome graphics. Like, don't forget about Star Atlas as well, like that metaverse sci-fi game that they're creating. Star Atlas is so cheap right now. It's already gone up 132%. This one was a deep red to be hammering away at that time, man. Dude, what was its low? Let's see. Yeah, dude, this crypto 132% in the past 30 days. Star Atlas is going to be a thing for sure. They just continue developing away on that project as well. So high-end graphics, like, in that Solana ecosystem, without a doubt, dude. Let's keep going. Yeah, don't get left behind, I think it says right here. Yeah, on ISO 20022, don't get left behind. Oh, they're going to be leaving the world behind. That's for sure. That is for sure. Let me see where I saw that LCX news, man. There was so much stuff that I've retweeted on my Twitter that it's like hard to keep up with now. Berkeley talking about Ubri and XRP and Ripple. You got to love that. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you guys so much. So XX Network here saying, enter Echo X, the Web3 revolution. Bit fashioned an XX Foundation partner on a dApp beyond wallets. Multi-wallet transactions for Echo X, offering multi-wallet transaction, ENS, secure chat, AI features, operating on 350 plus nodes of the XX network. Join the waitlist now, empowering Web3 communication. So this is some good stuff coming out for the XX network. I mean, at least we're seeing some growth and development here. And this looks like this will be a good thing for the XX network with Echo X. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys there. Let me see if we got anything else. I'm trying to find that LCX news for you guys too. I don't think I'm going to be able to find that one, but yeah, that was probably just so long ago right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's do a GDLT token giveaway. I think let's just do like a 10 GDLT token giveaway. I've been out for a good bit, so let's say we just rolled it over for a good while. OmniFlix NFTs are way better. I have several Honeybee Miner NFTs that airdrop free flicks once per week. Damn, you son of a gun, dude. Sniff is like, yeah, I kind of just live off crypto now, man. I quit my day job. Congratulations, Sniff. Shout out to you, man. DN, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you. All right, guys, let's do this GDLT token giveaway. It's going to be for 10 GDLT token. I'm thinking of 2 cryptos on this list, 2 cryptos on the Bluecrew top 10 list. Which 2 cryptos am I thinking about? Let's go. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Oh man, if DN's on this giveaway, he's like a countdown clock. So you guys got to watch out with DN. He types fast. So you guys got to try to make sure you guys get the right answer in. DN and Snip are going at it. DN and Snip are going at it right now. Oh man, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? So far, no dice. I mean, you guys are neck and neck right now, DN. Oh man. Oh, there we go, Tim Shea. Congratulations, Tim Shea. 10 GDLT token. What would you like to do, man? Would you like to roll it over? Or would you like to take the GDLT token? Quant and Avalanche, my dude. Quant and Avalanche was the answer. Dude, Tim Shea doesn't always win, okay? Some people get lucky and they get streaks. And remember, we have such a small community, right? Like, usually, like, we only get like 15 to 20 viewers per stream, right? And then, like, some people watch it later, and that's how we get more likes and stuff. But mostly, like, about 20 to 30 people maybe watch. And so, yeah, DN wins a lot. Tim Shea wins a lot. You know, only like, what, 10 people really participate in these giveaways per session, right? Maybe even less. So, yeah, DN wins a lot. Legendary wins a lot. Tim Shea wins a lot. RPM wins a lot. Snip wins a lot. Yeah, winners will win. That's what they do. And Tim Shea, he's the winner, man. He's saying, I'll take them. There you go, man. He's going to take it. So send you 10 GDLT token, man. We already have your address and everything. So appreciate it. But anyways, guys, while I'm doing that, while I'm sending over the GDLT token to you, man, let's play this ILP Summit video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to do a hard out after this presentation. So yeah, we're just going to do our like little exit and then we're going to play this video. But much love to y'all. And Tim Shea, I'll be sending you your GDLT token as this video plays. Thank you, Bluecrew. Thank you, Green Giants. And thank you, Ledger Citizens. The future is distributed ledger technology and the future is bright. Our future is bright. We'll get a glimpse of what the future looks like here from Stefan Thomas in just a second. We got the eye of the tiger and we keep it crypto. Much love to y'all. Let's check this out.
What a great visionary and a woman who cares so much about what you all are doing. In fact, it's amazing to hear about all the advances. I think I heard correctly, $14 million dispersed, 40 countries. Absolutely amazing. It's been enlightening to hear a lot about the advances that support and further digital financial inclusion, the agenda, the ecosystem, and where we're going next. That vision is very important, so thank you very much. Now, it should come as no surprise that we have another great person here that will be speaking to you next. Our next keynote is someone who needs no introduction. Let's please welcome up on stage, Stefan Thomas. Stefan, come on up.
Hello, everybody. Let me plug in. There we go. Well, it's so great to be back at another Interledger Summit. At the risk of being a bit repetitive, I also want to thank Brianna and the whole staff for putting together such an amazing event once again. When the community didn't have the Interledger Foundation, we didn't have events like this, and it's just incredible to see so many people interested in the technology, and it's just an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you today. So the project I'm going to talk about is called DASI. It's something that I announced a year ago at the last summit and that I've been working on ever since. DASI is an open source project, and as we go into the presentation, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But before I get into that, I want to kind of set a foundation here. Obviously, we're at the Interledger Summit, so probably most of you will have your own answers to this question. Why are you interested in Interledger? I'll give you my answer, which is pretty technical, pretty unique to me, I guess, but maybe you'll find it interesting. So as a developer, I kind of grew up with the internet and the web, and I found it to be just this absolutely magical tool. It's sort of like something that allows my software to communicate with software all around the world. You can build applications that brings people together and connects people, and it just feels like you have some kind of psionic superpower where you can talk to other computers around the world. And at the same time, as a tool, it sort of stays in the background. And I just found that experience to be very, very powerful. But the second you try to do anything like move money around, that whole experience goes away. So for me, the idea of Interledger and getting to Interledger protocol was really all about trying to figure out how to bring that magical experience to money. And so to do that, we first have to kind of break down what that experience consists of. Like, why does the internet feel so magical to us developers as a tool? And I think a tool is magical when it sort of just makes your life easier. You don't have to think about it very much. It works instantly. You don't sit there waiting, okay, when is this thing going to actually complete? It's very easy to pick up, so there's not a lot of complexity if you're just using it. Maybe it does a lot of complicated things in the background, but it's not necessarily something that you as a user or as a developer using this tool have to think about. It's also very important that it grows with you. So the internet is something that works great for my prototype, my hobby project that I'm doing over in my garage, but it also works for Google and some of these giant tech companies that are serving billions of people. So it's really incredibly scalable. And it's also kind of feels elegant, right? It's just an elegant solution to the problem. And I think that's important because that's what makes you excited to work with it and excited to pick it up. And so if you wanted to bring some of these things to money, how would you do it? And for me, I kind of got my start in this space, in this industry, in blockchain. I got into Bitcoin very early on. And I was kind of attracted to it as like, maybe this is the TCP/IP for money. Some people have said that. And so, I kind of got very excited initially. But then when you kind of look at this list and you look at, what it's like to work with a lot of blockchain technology, it's not really instant, right? You're waiting for a Bitcoin block to be generated 10 minutes later. So you're kind of waiting around. It makes your life easier, but it also adds a lot of new complexity. I'm famous for having lost a crypto wallet just by losing my keys. So that certainly didn't make my life any easier. It's not necessarily easy to pick up. There's a lot of things you need to learn if you want to use blockchain. And the scalability is also not really there, right? Like we have a lot of issues with blockchain scalability because it's a shared ledger. Everybody needs to hear about every transaction that's made on the entire system, and so it doesn't really feel scalable. And maybe in a more subtle sense, there's also a lack of scalability because there's this economic aspect to blockchain where each blockchain has their own built-in token, and whoever got in early in that token sort of gets rich, and then everyone else who has to buy in later gets screwed. And so that's not a very equitable way to build a global piece of infrastructure. And so how is Interledger different? How does Interledger sort that out? So Interledger is kind of the magical protocol for money because it's a lot more like TCP/IP. It doesn't have a built-in token. It doesn't have anybody getting rich other than if they build a great company on top of it. And it is supposed to, and I don't know if we're quite there yet in terms of the actual developer experience, but I think we're on the path towards making it feel like that super powerful, elegant tool that you can just pick up. So for me, that's what Interledger represents. It's the true TCP/IP for money. It's a magical tool for if you want to just move money from one place to another and not have to think about all the details. That's what Interledger protocol is designed to be able to do. Okay, now we already have Interledger protocol, so why am I starting this project DASI? What is DASI and why do we need it? And so, over the past, that's coming on almost 10 years now that we've been working on Interledger, one of the problems that we kept running into is people wanted to pick up the technology, but there wasn't any way for them to get onto the network. There wasn't anyone to connect to. That could be because some of the wallets were geographically limited. Sometimes it was because of expensive or complex onboarding processes. Sometimes it was because you needed to have a certain amount of minimum volume for a wallet to really be interested in your business. And so there's always been this hurdle of how do I actually connect to the network. And kind of going back to the blockchain analogy, well, that's one problem that I didn't experience when I was working with Bitcoin. You just download the Bitcoin client and you're good to go. You're pretty much on the network. And so the reason that works is because the network is just made up of the users. It's a peer-to-peer network. So in a way, we are the network, right? And we can do that for Interledger too. So we can make a peer-to-peer implementation of the protocol where you just spin up a node, it connects to other nodes that are running the same software, and now you form a network, and now you can transact with each other using Interledger. Now, there are definitely some challenges with that. Interledger wasn't really designed for that. Originally, the vision was much more like a more explicit peering-based protocol. So, everybody kind of manually manages their nodes, puts a lot of effort into deciding who to peer with, and so on. And that's kind of baked into some of the assumptions behind Interledger. And so the challenge with building something like DASI is, can you make it so that everything is automatic? Because DASI should feel magical. It should be, you just download it, it automatically finds other DASI nodes to connect to, it automatically picks a node to peer with and actually do the financial part of the system, and actually doing the settlement automatically as well, so you don't have to constantly manage your liquidity. My background is I worked at a company called Ripple, where we also built kind of credit networks that were peer-to-peer based. And one of the biggest issues we ran into is settlement is something that banks do, and of course they have employees worried about reconciliation and so on. But when you're asking individual users who are just trying to build an application or something to worry about settlement and reconciliation, their eyes glaze over and they don't do it. And so you get all kinds of liquidity issues in that network. And so all of that has to be automatic for DASI to feel magical. So now I want to kind of give you a little bit of an explanation of how DASI works. There's definitely, because it uses Interledger, there's a lot of overlap with how Interledger works, but there's still some nuances. So I'm going to represent a DASI node as kind of a circle. It's sort of the universal language of peer-to-peer language, peer-to-peer network talks is that we use dots and lines, so you get a lot of those. Now, one node by itself is not very interesting. It doesn't make up a network, so we're going to have a second node, and we're going to have them peer with each other. So now they are connected to each other. They can send Interledger packets between each other, and when they've sent a bunch of packets, they might send some real money to settle the traffic and settle those transactions. And so that's how they're able to move money around. Now, again, still not very interesting. I think this is sort of the something that already exists. For example, if you're familiar with the Bitcoin Lightning Network, so that's a network where it sits on top of a blockchain. It uses that underlying blockchain for settlement, but then the actual transactions are just from node to node. So it's actually quite similar up to this point. Well, what if we wanted to introduce another currency? And this is where my slides stop reacting. Fun.
In this part, he starts to have some technical issues, guys. So just be patient with the video. They figure it out and everything, but I don't want to risk like fast forwarding ahead to get glitches on this. So just be patient with some of the tech issues that they're having on their presentation, which is pretty funny. But you know, I guess some cable or wireless connection was messed up. So just be patient.
That is my karmic punishment for getting too fancy with the slides. All right, I think we are back in business. All right, so what if we wanted to introduce another currency to the system? Now, we can't just add this new currency to the network because the amounts are different. The currency is going to be settled on a different ledger, so the existing nodes that are used to settling on one ledger are not going to understand that. And so the way we're going to do that is we're essentially going to create a whole another separate network. In my previous talk, I called this a subnet. And then we're going to have one node that is just present on both networks, and it takes care of the currency exchange. And so you can sort of think of the purple part of the system as one network, and then the yellow part of the system is another network, and there's just one node that happens to be part of both. And through the magic of Interledger, we're able to translate from one currency to the other, and we can still make a transaction from anywhere within any of these networks. Now, when I actually went to implement this, usually practice is a good way to find out if your theory is any good. And it turned out that this is much more complicated than I thought it would be, because you're essentially routing within each network, and then you're routing again across networks. And you have two layers of routing, and that just gets very complex. And so just to kind of illustrate this, now I sort of think of DASI as just one big network, and the only difference is that between any pair of nodes, they might use one settlement mechanism or another settlement mechanism, but you just have one network. And it may be a way to explain this a little bit more, if it's not quite clicked yet, is previously a DASI interledger address would look something like this. So you have G, which is always the global interledger, so that's sort of the global instance of interledger. DAS means DASI, so this is like all the DASI nodes on interledger. But then we had another sub-identifier, which is for this subnetwork. And so the subnetwork is sort of partitioning the overall DASI network into a bunch of different subnetworks. And then you have the specific node. And so by getting rid of the subnetworks, we get rid of that entire layer of the hierarchy. There's no more subnetworks, and now we just have all the DASI nodes are part of one global network, and that made routing a lot easier. So that's one of the biggest changes since I last gave a talk about DASI. We sort of combined it into one network. All right, now a different way of thinking about this is, you're building this DASI software, and ideally, eventually, we want to support like all the ledgers in the world and every possible way of settling. It really should be universal as much as possible. And when we had these subnetworks, I realized that it was going to be an issue every time you wanted to add a new settlement mechanism. So let's say you wanted to add Bitcoin, or you wanted to add XRP, or some other cryptocurrency, or maybe some totally different way of settling. You first had to figure out how to get some nodes that people would run so you get a large enough subnetwork to make it viable. And so the network building was sort of something you'd have to do again and again and again for each ledger. But by combining it from a bunch of disparate subnetworks into one big network, now there's already a network. You just connect to the DASI network, And so the network building is something that we can solve once. We can build the Daci network up. And then even if there's only one other person that settles using the currency that you want to settle in, that's enough. You don't have to have enough nodes to make like a viable subnetwork. Now, another thing that every peer-to-peer network has to solve is Sybil resistance. And I know this is where it gets a little bit technical, but please bear with me. It's not as complicated as it sounds. So a Sybil attack is when somebody creates a lot of fake nodes and joins a network with the purpose of maybe outvoting everyone else or overwhelming the network in some way. And so whenever you're building a peer-to-peer network, you have to find some way to impose a kind of a cost onto people creating nodes so that you don't get overwhelmed by fake nodes. Now, the way that the Bitcoin Lightning Network does this is it says, well, you already have to have some Bitcoin on the Bitcoin ledger, and so if you want to join the Lightning Network, well, you have to prove that you own these Bitcoin, and you have to kind of show the ownership of that. And so that prevents people from creating like huge amounts of fake nodes and overwhelming the routing algorithm, for example. Now, what that means, though, is that the solution using the Bitcoin ledger only works for the Bitcoin ledger. So what if we want to use a different ledger? Well, then we have to come up with another Sybil resistant solution. And so it's, again, a problem that we have to solve once for each ledger. And so I moved away from that model and towards a model where the nodes use an interledger payment to register with other Daci nodes, and that's how we impose a cost. And because it's an interledger payment, it's ledger agnostic, and therefore we can solve this problem once, and we don't have to solve it again and again for each new ledger that we integrate. Another thing that isn't implemented yet, but something that I'm thinking about, is how liquidity management works. So the initial approach that you might take is saying, okay, well, we're going to send money for, like money's coming in on this ledger, we're sending it out on that ledger. So maybe Daci has some kind of integration with a crypto exchange so that when money comes in one cryptocurrency and maybe goes out as a fiat currency, we can go to the crypto exchange to exchange that. But that means that Daci, the software, has to contain code that knows how to talk to every crypto exchange, how to deposit and withdraw money from those exchanges. And of course, that code can be very security sensitive because you're having access to the crypto that you're depositing and withdrawing. So that can be very dicey to get right. And so I had this idea that maybe what Daci does is it just adjusts the exchange rates based on the way the money is flowing. So for example, if there's a lot of money flowing from Bitcoin to XRP, then the XRP just get more and more expensive. And so what that does is it creates an arbitrage opportunity for some trader to come along and say, okay, I'm going to send money the other direction and actually make money. And if that is happening enough, if there are enough people chasing those arbitrage opportunities, then those exchange rates will go back down to wherever the real price is, and the Daci nodes didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to think about it. And as a result, we don't have to integrate with exchanges. We don't have to worry about how to do liquidity management within the Daci system. That's sort of externalized into other people who want to go after those opportunities. And so that's another way to reduce the amount of things that we have to implement per ledger. And so with some of these changes, the goal is, or the result is, that we just have the settlement that's left. So if you want to add a new ledger, the only thing you have to implement is, well, how do I send money across that ledger? And that's sort of by definition, the one thing you always have to implement for a new ledger. But the idea is that Daci sort of takes care of all the difficult things, all the complicated peer-to-peer distributed system stuff, and if somebody wants to come along and integrate their favorite ledger, maybe bring Daci to a new country or integrate a new currency, they can do that without having a lot of complexity. So that's some of the changes that have happened over the last year. Oh.
So yeah, they start having some more technical issues here. Yeah, just thanks for the patience. Yeah, really funny though. Yeah, funny to have this type of technical difficulties for something that is so technical.
All right, now a bit of a progress report. It's been a year. I kind of wish I would be further along, but here I am. So we've implemented, or I've implemented a lot of the peer-to-peer network components, so the network protocol, nodes talking to each other, but there's also still a lot of work left in terms of error handling. A lot of the cryptography is not implemented yet.
A lot of work left. Look at that. Look how much work is still left. Still proof of concept testnet phase. We are so damn early.
So there's a lot of work to do. The connector right now is pretty rudimentary, and the UI is extremely minimalistic. The only thing you can do is send from one node to another. But we got a foundation, and we also have a testnet. So there are now public nodes that anyone can connect to. So if you want, you can download Daci and install it, and you can connect to the network. A little bit more detail around some of the features. So there's an installer, which I think is pretty good to use. I'm sure there'll be other improvements, but it kind of works. There's an auto updater. I thought that was really important to have early so that when people are developing with the test network, we're going to want to move quickly, make lots of changes, and so the auto updater will update the whole network once a day so that everyone's on the latest version. Other than that, there's no discovery, auto peering, the IOP connector all sort of basically implemented, but there's a lot of important things missing still. And then the settlement right now is purely simulation. So there's no actual integration with any ledger. It is purely just simulating what a settlement might be on a real ledger, but it's not actually doing anything. So, I don't know. It's not going to sleep, it's up. It's just somewhere the signal's getting lost. Okay. All right. And now we get to the live demo. Fantastic. All right, so the first thing I want to show is kind of the installation process for Daci. So on the Daci website, which is daci.land, here we go. On the Daci website, which is daci.land, you can see the instructions for how to install Daci. There is, just let them work on that for a second. There we go. Thank you for your patience, by the way. This is always. Thank you. All right, we good? All right, cool. So this is the Daci land website, daci.land. That's where you find all the instructions on how to install it. The prerequisites you need is you need to have a Linux server. So right now this is really aimed at developers. For everyone else, just stay tuned. Probably by the next summit, we'll have a lot of cool apps that are building on top of this to show you. You need to have HTTP ports open to the world, and you need to have a publicly accessible IP address, and then you just run this one command. So that's what I'm going to do right now, and hopefully we've had enough technical issues for one talk. So here we go. So it kind of downloaded Daci, it installed it, and now we get to the initialization wizard. So the initialization, what that does is get us a TLS certificate so that we can have HTTPS. So we need to tell it what is the publicly accessible host name for this host. And hopefully I don't do any typos here. We need to agree to the terms of service of Let's Encrypt, which is what we're going to use to generate the certificate. And then we need to give it an email address so they can contact us. And now it's going through the challenge process. And hopefully we will soon get a certificate. And there we go, we got a certificate. So that's good. And then we can hop over to the browser. Now, everything else we can do in the browser. So that's kind of, we're done in the terminal. We can click on that. And now we have Daci opening in the browser. And as you notice, that URL contained like a token. So somebody else can't just go to our Daci node and set it up for us and mess with it. Only we can set it up. And I'm going to generate a new wallet here. So we get a wallet passphrase. Obviously, this is all testnet, so you're welcome to steal my virtual money. But we're going to copy that passphrase and put it into a text editor. So we can say, yes, we've written it down. And now it's asking us to confirm that we wrote it down, so it's asking us for the 10th word, which happens to be tornado. So we're going to enter tornado. And now we have a wallet set up. Now the next step is we need to choose a settlement mechanism. So this is where you would choose, oh, I want to settle with Bitcoin, or I want to settle with XRP, or maybe at some point I want to settle with a bank wire or something else. So really depending on how you want to run your node, this is where you would choose it. Right now we just have a testnet, and we have what's called the stub settlement. So that's what I was referring to earlier, which is a simulated settlement. It's not actually doing anything. It just waits for a second, and then it says, I've settled. So that's what we have so far. So we're going to click on that. And with that, we have a node set up. You get a payment pointer, so people can send money to you. And then you've got a send button, so you can send money to others. And that's pretty much what we have so far. I'll also show you some of the debug features, so you can look a little bit under the hood. Again, this is probably not going to make a lot of sense until you're more familiar with Daci. But basically, here's the different Daci nodes. They all have like a randomly generated address. We can see who they're peered with, and then we can see our peering state with respect to them. So I'll not get into too much detail there, but if you're interested in it, please talk to me afterwards, and I will explain everything in excruciating detail. All right, now I want to show you an actual payment. Obviously, that's what you're all here to see. So we have two Daci nodes running here. One is test 1, one is test 2. These are two of the public testnet nodes. And I'm going to start by sending $1 from test 1 to test 2. So I'm going to put in the payment pointer. The reason that loading message disappeared is because it actually did query that node, make sure it exists. And so now I can say continue. And it's asking me how much I want to send, and I'm going to send $1. So now it's asking me to review all the conditions of the payment, and so I will confirm that, and it's already done. Thank you. Now, this is a sort of an opportunity for teaching some things about Interledger. So as you saw, it didn't go in one frame. This might have been a little fast to see, but it sort of ticked down, right? Like it's tick, 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 tick. And so the reason for that is Interledger is a packetized protocol. So when we send a payment, we don't just send all the money at once. We actually split the payment up into packets. Now, why do we do that? Well, I mentioned earlier in the talk that we were trying to get the magic of the internet. And one of the things about the internet that makes it so magical is this packetization. Why does that matter? Well, because of the packetization, the traffic across the internet is very homogeneous. You don't get like, oh, here's a big file transfer, and oh, here's a phone call, and here's a video call, and here's something else. No, you just get packets, and the packets all look more or less the same. And that's what allows it to be universal infrastructure that you can use for everything from a file transfer to a phone call. And so if you translate that to money, it is a huge difference for somebody to process a huge payment versus a tiny payment. And so you need very different processes, you probably have different risk management and so on. And so the way Interledger gets around that, it says, well, we're going to packetize large payments so that all the payments that are getting across the network are looking all more or less similar. And so then we can just optimize the risk management for these packets, like processing these packets of money. And that's a really, really important, if somewhat unintuitive, aspect of what makes Interledger magical and support all these different use cases. Another thing I want to show you is when I have two nodes on Daci that are paired with one another, I mentioned that they have to settle, right? So they can send Interledger packets, but at some point you need to move actual money. And so in order to do that, these nodes, these test nodes, are using what I call the stub settlement system. Now, in this first demo, I only sent $1, which is not enough to trigger settlement, because the nodes trust each other for about $1.10. And so if I want to trigger an actual settlement, if I'm sending more than the trust in the network, that still works, but it's going to have to settle several times over the course of that payment because I'm exceeding the maximum trust in the network. So I'm going to set up another payment. I'm going to send the remaining $4 here. And now what you'll see is about $1.10, a little bit less, go across initially. And then it's going to stop. And now it's waiting to settle. And then it settles, and then it does another $1, and so on and so forth. So you can see, like, if you were to send like a huge amount over Interledger, depending on the amount of trust in the network, you might have many, many settlement periods that were involved. And so the way I kind of envision this playing out is that when we first start, it's really going to be best for small amounts. So that means some of the financial access use cases that we're very interested in. That means very technical use cases like AI payments and API payments and other things like that are going to be the first sort of things that this would be good for. And it's not really going to be for big corporate payments until the network has grown a lot and there's much higher trust limits. And then eventually, I think Interledger can serve almost any kind of payment. So that's sort of what it looks like, and that covers it for the demo. So I'm going to hop back into the slides. And with that, I will pause to ask if anybody has any questions. So thank you so much. All right. Okay, I see a question back there. Okay, we got one back there.
Hey, everybody. Is it working? All right, cool. I'm Anthony from Bowie, and essentially, I'm a nonprofit founder. We're a humanitarian organization. We literally work directly with people who are in impoverished circumstances, X, Y, and Z. How could this be applied to help somebody that's actually, let's just say in poverty, for example? How can this be implemented to help people under those circumstances?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the way I think about it is we right now have a patchwork of different solutions. So we might have, in some countries, mobile money that we can leverage and hook into. In another place, we might have to use cash. In another place, it might work differently yet again, right? And so right now we have this sort of global patchwork. And so where Interledger and DASI come in my view, is this is allowing us to build a global network where if you're an organization that's like based in the US, for example, and you want to send money to somebody in Kenya over M-Pesa, you don't have to worry about how that integration works. You can use Interledger to bridge those gaps and do those translations for you. That does mean a lot of infrastructure building, right? We have to actually integrate M-Pesa. We have to actually integrate some of these different networks, some of these local ways of paying. But what DASI and Interledger can do is connect everything together globally. That's really the difference. And again, I want to be clear that DASI itself doesn't move any money, right? So it's not itself a mechanism, it's not a currency, etc. It's just a way to tie these different things together. So you need to have some pre-existing way of moving money between people, and then you can use that and hook it into this. Again, I could probably talk for an hour just on like all the different technical problems and all the different things we'd have to solve to actually use it for that use case. But I definitely think that it solves like a key piece around the interoperability part of it. Any other questions? I see people with microphones running around. All right. Hello.
Yes, Stefan.
Hey.
Yeah, so we just integrated Interledger, Cheermoney. We can issue payment pointers now. So I'm curious, how does that fit with Rafiki? So let's say a user has a payment pointer issued by Cheermoney and they want to fund that wallet from their DASI account. How would that work?
Yeah, great question. So one of the goals I have for this very conference is to spend some time with the folks working on open payments implementations and Rafiki to see what it would take to integrate Rafiki with DASI. There's already been some work on both sides to make that easier and prepare for that. So hopefully we can make some progress on that during this event. But basically right now what DASI uses is an older protocol called SPSP, which we used to use before we had open payments. So the idea is definitely to upgrade that to open payments and switch to that.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Not sure how many microphones are on. My name is Stephanie Perrin. I'm here from Canada. I was just wondering, it does seem that building out that network of nodes is a lot of work, a lot of diplomacy. have you thought about contacting existing organizations? One does not think about the post office when one thinks about the internet, but when it comes to actually reaching people who are poor, they're there already, and they do have a network, and it might be a cheap and easy way to get a lot of nodes up if they would cooperate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fantastic question. And that's part of what I'm so excited about this event, because it's bringing people with very different expertise. Like, my expertise is very much on the technical side, and so I don't know very much about development work and you know, how to bring communities in to use these tools. So I'm very, very excited to talk to folks who have more experience in those fields to figure out how we can pull that off. I think the basic idea with DASI was to just have something where if you have a computer, like if you have a running computer, which I know is a big if, but if you have a running computer, you can basically set up a node. And so with that as a tool, hopefully we can figure out how to convince people to actually do that. My sort of experience with this has been around Bitcoin, where it was a similar experience. You had to download the software, you ran it, it connects to the network, and then you're up and running. But obviously it was still a large battle to kind of get a lot of people interested in it. And ultimately with Bitcoin, we were lacking some of the features and, like I said, the scalability and so on to really make it the success that we were looking for. But hopefully with DASI, we have that same low barrier to entry, but then a lot more scalability and also the ability to go tie in existing payment systems, which I think is really, really important to make this scale. All right. Oh, there's some more questions. I don't know.
Awesome project, and you mentioned that it's open source. Are you currently open to contributions, and if so, do you have a roadmap for features that we can contribute to?
That's a great question. So yeah, up until this point, I haven't really spent much time on documentation and kind of making it easy to contribute to. That's going to be a much bigger priority for this coming year. And so the best places to kind of watch are the GitHub. So I'm going to add more, you know, here's how to contribute, here's some of the explanation of how the code base is organized and so on. And, you know, feel free to file issues. If you download and install DASI and you run into a problem, feel free to file an issue on the GitHub. Everything is linked on dasi.land, so you can find everything there. And yeah, thank you for anyone who's willing to offer to contribute. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm here. So hi, I'm Neha, and I represent Planetable. My question is, what about the digital accessibility into the protocol that we are developing, and do we have a roadmap around that?
Yeah. So there's, like, obviously when you're building a prototype, there are definitely some rough edges around that. I've tried to use best practices, so it uses ARIA for accessibility in much of the user interface. But to be honest, I haven't done a whole lot of testing if that actually works and it actually translates into the experience that we'd hope for. This is probably a great area also for contribution, so anyone who's interested in accessibility, please come in and help. And yeah, so hopefully the seeds are planted, is what I would say. And in terms of like things like translating it into different languages, making it work on less reliable internet, things like that. Again, I think the fundamentals of Interledger are designed for that. You know, just like the internet is designed to be run on top of imperfect networks, Interledger is designed to run on top of imperfect payment methods and payment rails and an imperfect network. And so theoretically, we should be able to get to a really high standard in that area, but it's going to take work. It's not going to just magically work with at this current stage. All right?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? I don't have my glasses on, but I think we're good on questions. So once again, the website is dasi.land, so if you're interested in getting involved, there's not a lot there yet, but please come around, say hi, and yeah, if you see me during the conference, please feel free to say hi as well. I'm happy to talk to you, and thank you for listening. That's it for me. Thank you.